I'm just outlining this part in Sharpie. So what I've outlined here in Sharpie is all pure black. My nub is not that thick, so that's why I'm using Sharpie. Now, obviously, if you're using pencil, you would have to do quite a few layers here, unless you were using a graphite set. If you're using a graphite set, you would use a 9B, but a lot of my students don't have a graphite set. I'm like, what's the graphite set? Now, if you decide to use pen or Sharpie, just make sure that you're not like scribbling it in. Use some nice side diagonal hatch for your shading. You don't want your lines to go all over the place. And we got like this underwing here. Because there's a subtle shine on the top part of his beak. So the base color of your beak, I think, would be like one layer of 001, 005. Let me try it. Oh, my pen's dead. Okay. Have them really close together. You see how it's almost like feather-light touch? You almost want to butterfly kiss the tip of your pen against the paper for that beak. Yeah, that'll work. 001, one layer. And then you'll do 2 layers for the shadow here, where the shine isn't. What I'm doing here is I'm showing you the next step when you're ready. There we go. I forgot that you had to do the eye too. Oh, stop grabbing your dead pen, teacher. Silly teacher. There we go. Okay. Shade beak. 2 layers. This is the shaded part. I'm going to just keep going over it until I'm going super light, so it's hard. But you can tell that there's a shine spot there. Just go slow. Okay? Don't rush. There's kind of like a little undershadow here. Okay? Under beak, 3 layers. We're now going to work on, let's work on the chest here. Okay? So I'm going to get out a pencil because we're going to do contour mapping of what we need to do with the chest. So I can tell, if you can squint your eyes a little bit, there's a little bit of a chocolate color here versus pure black. So, oh, sorry, I'm itching my leg. We're going to kind of do, it looks like there's almost like a, what do you call it? An outline here. So we're gonna put that outline in, right? Now, there's a little bit right here too that's a little bit darker. Do you see it? A little triangular or heart-like shape. I don't know why that is, but it just is, okay? So, I'm gonna move in the same. We also have some right here. Do you see it? The light hits the belly. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna at least do 2 layers here of shade. And then maybe we'll add a 3rd layer for that part. So let's continue with our side diagonal hatch. And of course, teacher's using her dead pen again because I'm just talented like that, you see. I ordered some new fillers for that via Walmart. We're going to keep doing the side diagonal hatch. If you want to hold your pen in the middle to kind of give yourself a little more pressure this time, that's fine. Now, if you are using a graphite set, which is pencil, with like the HB, 2H, 9B, blah, 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 you're going to want to be in like probably the 6B range for your soft lead for this area. If you're using a, what is it called? A micron pen. It's a Secura pen that you can kind of get off of Amazon. It's from manga or manga, if you prefer to pronounce it that way. But anyway, it's an archival ink pen. If you're using an archival ink pen, you want to go towards the nub that's in the middle of your set in thickness. So this is layer 1. Now I'm going to do layer 2. I'm going to put them closer together. Close up some of that white space in between the lines. If you're using ink pen, vary your line strokes, because if you don't vary your line strokes, all your ink will gather in one area and look super heavy and blotchy, and you want to avoid that. So I like to do long strokes and kind of vary them as I move down the body. You'll figure out what feels best for you as you're doing your art. I've been doing art for quite some time, so I know what works best for me. You'll also notice like what type of medium or coloring utensil that you like too, as you grow and as you journey into the art world, or as you're journeying through the art world, you'll notice what works best for you. Regardless, this technique works for pencil or pen. So you can tell that this is still a little too light. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to do I'm going to do probably 4 layers here. I don't really want to do cross hatch because the rest of my body is not cross hatch. And if you vary your line quality or your line texture too much, it's really going to make it hard for your artwork to meld together. So let's continue this side diagonal hatch and see where it gets us. Okay. All right. So your mapping is going to start disappearing as you go, but you'll notice here that you can see some of it still. So let's add, using a writing pressure, let's add our, what is this, our 4th layer here. using a writing pressure, let's try to bring that map back out again. And you're just going to have to keep building until you're happy with the value. I'm just going to build and build and build until I'm happy with the value. I might have to do a crosshatch here. Yeah, you guys, we might have to do a crosshatch to help cover some of this white. See what I'm doing? Crosshatch and going in the opposite direction. I don't know what else to do. I don't want to go in with a Sharpie because Sharpie's going to be too strong. You see what I'm saying? As long as your lines are pretty unified, you should be okay if you do the crosshatch. Okay, so now you can kind of tell that these two layers here, they're so different and so starkly different that they're not melding together. So, since we did the belly as a crosshatch, why don't we just kind of, feather in a few layers of crosshatch here and have it all come together. See how it's starting to come together? Yeah. I'll start spacing out my lines now because now it's starting to get too different. All right, I think we're getting there. So that's how you do the belly. The belly's really tricky. Now that we got the belly and the neck, we're done. We're basically done with the toucan in general. We got to do the branch here, and I kind of want to encourage you to do horizontal strokes across your branch, right, to get that kind of bumpy texture that we're looking for. But I wouldn't really go more than 2 layers on the medium brown, 1 layer on the lightest part of your brown, and 3 on the underside. Let me show you. Here's my 3rd layer on the underside. See how there's like some darkness here? See that? It's going to make your branch look more realistic. Vary your line quality. Don't make your lines all the same. Okay, there's your branch. You could add a little bit of a side diagonal hatch here to show that your shadow in your branch is wrapping up and around the cylindrical format of the object that you're shading. Okay, so you have that. Now these talons are going to have kind of a curved line to them, okay? They're going to have a curved line. Do small curves on top of each other for the shadows in between the toes or the talons, see? But you're going to have kind of curved C lines to represent the curvature in the talon. And that, my friend, is how you are going to do your, what do you call it? Your toucan. Jagged. I would not advise doing a background unless it's super simple. You really want this guy to be the center of your attention. I really wouldn't stress too much on, here's undershadow, on doing a really complex background. Because if you do a complex background, your toucan's going to disappear into all the details.